You're right.
Still 13-1 Kilshore after a disappointing defeat at Haywood Road. I thought you were the better side for large parts of the game, but ultimately the result went Swinton's way. What was your take on it?
Listen, we're only ourselves to blame. We dominated the game for large periods. We had a 5-minute spell in the first half where we gifted them 3 tries, one off a kick, and then we just switched off defensively in the next 2 sets. Otherwise, we dominate the first half, with territory and field position. We bombed a couple of tries. We defend well with a man in the bin. Same for the second half. We scored first and we dominated territory, field position, and then we let in another soft kick try off the back of a really cheap penalty that we've given away. I made my feelings clear in there. There's a reason why we're at the bottom of the table, and it all came to fruition today. If you want to see a snapshot of our season, then watch that last 80 minutes. We do something really well and then we do something really stupid, and we're trying to force passes when we didn't need to. We were making good meters. We turned too much ball over, and then we get to the back end of the game. We do really well to get ourselves back in the game, with effort and desire and running hard, and then our last 3 play options were really poor. We had a set on the goal line at the end as well, where I thought we were back to one, but we weren't. But we should have made better decisions with the ball. So I'm bitterly disappointed for our supporters, and everybody's bitterly disappointed, no more so than me.
And that result today opens up a gap at the bottom of the table. It means you're going to have to go on the road to places like Batley and Sheffield, and then you'll host Lee and Dewsbury, and you'll need to pick up points against them. With the way you're playing, do you think that's a realistic expectation?
Well, we're so close, and we're so close, but the minute we're just a nearly, man. We just nearly beat Featherstone. We nearly won today, and like I say, I've made my feelings really clear in there. We've got to be better than what we did today. We've got to be better. Effort and desire, that's just minimum standard for us. Minimum standard. That was there. We did really well to get ourselves back in the game, but we've got to be smarter. We go Batley next week, and like I say, it was never going to be won and lost today. There's 4 more games, and that's the way we've got to treat it. Let's see what character is. I've challenged him. Let's see what the character is. Are they going to come in on Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, and go to Batley and win that game? And that's the challenge next week.
It was a funny old game. You concede 3 in 5 minutes, all in the same area of the field. Luke Adamson gets sent to the sin bin. You concede 1 point while he's in the bin. Some of your defensive effort today can't be knocked, but for, like you say, a lapse in concentration. How do you fix them lapses up?
Oh well, it's going to be it's difficult, isn't it? For me, they scored 2 tries off kicks, and then like you say, we've come up there where they've got the momentum, and we've got to try and shift that momentum, and we don't, and they go back to back. And like you say, we're defending manfully today. We put ourselves under too much pressure, with errors, with needless penalties, and that's why we got beaten. That's why we are where we are.
And it's always tough when a team nudges itself in front and then tries to keep the opposition at arm's length. Always hard to break them down. But there were some really odd refereeing calls. There was 2 identical incidents. Luke Adamson sent to sin bin for a late shot, and then the Swinton man carbon copy in the second half when we're chasing the game, and it's just a penalty.
Listen, I specifically asked that we didn't have this referee again after the Halifax game, and obviously that was ignored, and I think that was justified today, and that's all I'll say on that.
And finally, picked a few knots throughout that game. You have to fix up quick for Batley next week. What's your plan of action?
Yeah, there's some battered and bruised bodies. We'll get them back. We'll rehab Tuesday, and like I say, people will be doing it tough next week. I suppose Masson's probably the main concern. He went off at the end, and we ended up with 12 men just for the last couple of minutes. So that's a worry. But let's just see how everyone gets through on Tuesday. There was Jack Fox and Toby were good on return. I thought Toby and Luke Adamson were outstanding for us today. And they can hold their heads up high, and like I say, Toby's been out for a long time, so there's positives in there in terms of personnel, and we've got a couple. Setter we didn't risk, and Ryan Milton as well, and we might have Dec Gregory back next week, so we'll be right in terms of numbers. So like I say, we'll just rehab Tuesday and we'll go from there.
Cheers, Alan.